Hello and welcome back to I want to say it's the 6th episode of the What is K-pop podcast, where we discuss, or not really discuss, but I just talk about different K-pop groups and their companies, discographies, anything else I want to talk about in relation to the members. Now I do have a few little things I want to talk about before we get on to today's topic, which is HYBE Corporation, the whole company as their own. I have Jet Petalin here with me, and I'm actually in a different place. I'm in my mother's bedroom because my dad's asleep downstairs in the lounge, and I really wanted to film this before it kind of got too late into the day. It's already currently 3:30. And I actually normally film in the morning, mainly because of the fact that it gives me like the rest of the day just to kind of be like doing my own stuff. So, we're coming a bit at this a bit differently today. And it also keeps on raining. So if you just suddenly hear a whole heck of a lot of rain, I'm so sorry. I can't do anything about weather, unfortunately. So please do just kind of ignore that if it does start to very suddenly rain again. Anyway, like I said, today's topic will be HYBE Corporation or HYBE Co Limited. I don't know what the official proper business term name for public limited company, I think it is. But yeah, so I have here on my notes that the company is a public company in which you can actually buy stock in HYBE, but I don't really think like that would kind of do anything for like if like the company, like you wouldn't be able to change to the company unless you bought like a hell of a lot of stock. But yeah, it's a publicly traded company, and yeah, so as a whole, HYBE Corporation was originally called Big Hit Entertainment Company Limited. It was it was basically the same type of company, just a hell of a lot smaller. And since the rise of BTS, the company has been able to expand exponentially into being not only just like a entertainment company, it's home to a lot of different companies. It has like a sector of the company for education, and I think I read somewhere that they were looking into doing real estate too. Don't quote me on that. But taking it back quite a few years to the company's founding as Big Hit Entertainment, which was on the 1st of February 2005, which was over 19 years ago now. And honestly, maybe some of you watching in the future weren't even born then, which honestly makes me feel a little bit nauseous. The idea that people can actually be that young. But again, I should also just be real with myself. I am not the youngest person in the world, even if I'd like to think that I am a very young person still. I'm 20, so no. There are going to be people who are younger than me. Anyway, so Big Hit, they didn't have any signed artists under their label to start off with, and it was only until probably about 2 years after their founding that they were able to sign a trio group called 88 in 2007. And one of the members of that group is still signed to the company now, and it's Lee Hyun. But he is now just Lee Hyun, or as with his like alter ego is now Midnet, which was HYBE's attempt to get into AI and like trying to produce music through an AI source, and it isn't exactly the best project that I know of that has kind of been produced by Big Hits. So we're just gonna swiftly move past that and move on to when the company was 5 years old, and it actually signed a deal with JYP Entertainment to create two boy groups. One would be managed by JYP and one would be managed by Big Hit. Big Hit's boy group was called 2AM and was kind of managed also by JYP just because of their Big Hit didn't have everything that they quite needed just yet to be able to completely go out on their own. So 2AM was kind of jointly managed by Big Hit and JYP only managed 2PM. It's like other group, and collectively they would be known as One Day, I think it's called, and yeah, that was the second group that was kind of associated with Big Hit Entertainment at the time. And also later in that year they signed who would become the leader of BTS, Kim Namjoon, or RM as he's now known. And they then decided to open... Hello, Petal. Are you staring at Mummy? Do you not understand why Mummy's talking to herself on her laptop right now? Oh, you're coming to see me, are you? Are you coming to see Mummy? I don't think... No! You can't climb on Mummy's keyboard. I'm so sorry about that. Petal decided that she wanted to climb on the keyboard, and I firmly said, very much not. Do not do that. No. So, yeah. I'm gonna have to go and make sure that she doesn't do anything naughty for just a moment. But we will be back after a very short break. I do apologise for that. Hopefully, though, that has stayed. Let's just... Yeah, no, that has stayed. Good. What was I talking about? Right, so they had just signed RM, who would eventually obviously become RM. He was just Kim Namjoon. But they don't list. I didn't list any of the other members. Oh my god! So I was just doing this earlier this morning. So, oopsie daisy. But yes. In 2012, they also actually debuted their first group themselves. And I'm sure some people won't actually know about this just because of the fact that I didn't even actually know about it until quite a while after I started liking K-pop, is that actually there is a group called Glam, or there was a group called Glam, and they were a collaboration with Source Music, and they actually were only active for 2 years before basically one of their members decided to blackmail a very famous actor called Lee Byung-hyun, and it was with the member called Dahi, and she blackmailed him with another famous actress, one of her friends. So that was not good at all, and it ended up ending in them the group being disbanded, obviously those two people going to jail and or prison, and HYBE actually said that they weren't going to have another girl group because it was their first group that they'd ever launched, kind of not really, actually not even by themselves, but it was their first kind of experience trying to properly have a group under their label and stuff. So that happened, kind of tainted the whole girl group thing. However, in the midst of all that, Big Hit decided to debut a 7-member boy group who had a very hip-hop-esque concept, and I don't know if it's gone particularly well for them. I mean, we've not really heard anything about them in the last 10 years, it's not like they've done loads and loads of things, and been basically the reason why I'm here today, being able to talk to all of you lot. You might have heard of them, BTS, I'm so sorry for that cringy intro, but it was about 6 to 8 months, I don't even know how long it was after they debuted, that Glam kind of disbanded, but it wasn't that long. So yeah. The next piece of information on my list is that 3 of the members of 2AM actually, and once the contract between Big Hit and JYP ended in early 2014, 3 of the members went back to JYP, 2AM. 3 of the members of 2AM went back to JYP, and actually the oldest member decided to stay at Big Hit, carry on with his solo stuff, and continue on to be a member of a duo group called I don't even know how to HOM with Lee Hyun. So Lee Hyun is a part of 88. He's a soloist, he's part of the duo, and is also Midnet. I'm like, dang, son. He's also 40, so it does make sense he hasn't done this all in a very short space of time. It's been kind of a career. It's been a career's worth of stuff. It hasn't just sort of kind of happened quite quickly. And then later on that year, towards the end of 2014, 88 disbanded, and 2 members did not renew their contract, it seems. And if I can scroll down my notes, that would be fantastic. A soloist, I think that's so. Doesn't say. Brilliant, love that. Someone didn't renew their contract in 2015, and okay, so someone actually. So Big Hit was actually a subsidiary, or a a part of a company, actually. My notes tell me. Love that for me. And yeah, that only lasted about a year. They were acquired through a 6 billion Korean won convertible bond, apparently. Right. So essentially, what that means is that a big company can buy a stake in a different company, basically saying that I can control like this amount of the company, like have this much power in a company if we give you money. And so this partnership kind of only lasted for about a year, and to be fair, don't actually understand anything of what I think. I don't understand that, so hopefully that makes sense. I actually explained that correctly. Yeah, so I don't fully know as to anything that I kind of just think I tried to explain. And obviously in this process, obviously we have a few trainees kind of coming in and out of the company. We kind of completely lost my sentence just then. BTS are obviously doing kind of their own thing at this time in 2016. They had just they were fully into their new aesthetic as kind of what is their aesthetic? What is their concept? I don't even know how I would even begin to explain it. Like, honestly, like I talk about K-pop so much to my parents, but if someone said to me, "What is BTS's concept?" I would kind of have to just shrug. Cause I'm like, I don't know. I guess like not even like Teen Crush, because that's more of a girl group concept. Boy band, boy stuff. Yeah, that's the concept. Boy group stuff. Yeah. So they're doing. I don't think I Need You came out in 2016, because I think that was 2015. Oh wow. Feel free to slaughter me in the comments about that, because I feel like a fake. Yeah. So they did that, and in 2017 they came out with DNA and Idol, and kind of started what would then kind of be known as BTS kind of today. At the start of 2018, one of the members of HOM decided to not renew his contract, Changmin, and he actually opened up his own agency, which I'm like, fair enough. So many idols are doing that, because you can have full creative control over what you put out if you're kind of the only person who's like in charge of your music. So we've seen that with I believe all of the members of Blackpink. They are under completely new companies, like their solo work, except from Jisoo. She joined a company, but it was her brother's company, but obviously an offshoot of his brother's company is now kind of dealing with Jisoo's solo work. Yeah, you can tell how much I'm just. As soon as I pick up on a piece of information that I can talk about, I know exactly what I'm talking about. But trying to like connect those pieces of information, the connections aren't connecting. It's like a piece of thread that's just not tying together properly. It's like that, but even worse, I would actually say. So we're just gonna carry on down the list of stuff that I know I wrote down. So in 2018, in August of 2018, CJENM released information to basically saying that them and HYBE were going to be creating a agency. And I've got hair way too much in my face. CJENM would have 48% of the control of this company, and then 52% will go to. No, I'm wrong. What am I talking about? 48% went to Big Hit and 52% went to CJENM. However, that would then change as we go further and further along on this little journey of learning about Big Hit specifically. So the company's name would then be announced as B-Lift Lab. They would just kind of exist, floating around the existence until the advent of a new group called In Hyphen from the show Ireland. I did talk about them in a past episode. But they just kind of didn't really do much in the way of anything, I don't think, from obviously what I found out through research. However, now they do actually have two groups under them, one being In Hyphen and the other being Are You Next group Arlit? Illit? Arlit? ILL-IT. Yeah. Gangster. I don't know what to call it. I don't know how to pronounce the blooming thing. Literally, there was a news story about this on one of the news networks, and it released its the group released their logo, and what it looks like is that someone was like given the task of basically creating this logo, and they were like, big fat question mark, like, what do you do? So it looks like they've just like gone into Mario Maker, like Mario Level Maker, and just put different blocks just on the screen and was like, this looks about right, I'm gonna have this. And also, on that same vein of thought, the logo actually kind of looks quite similar to N Hyphens actually, in terms of it being quite blocky, but I mean, like, it is what it is. I mean, quite a lot of logos kind of try and not like mimic each other, because obviously like it can't be too similar, otherwise it is copyright strikeable. But like, it does look kind of similar in some ways. However, that is just my opinion. Please do not come for me. This is solely what I think. But yes, and going slightly back in time, obviously back to 2018, it was announced that BTS renewed their contracts 1.5 years early, and have since renewed for their third contract, as it was set to expire in another 1.5 years, meaning that well, to be honest, I don't fully understand as to why they would do that, because it actually gives them less time and means they have to renegotiate kind of sooner to ensure that they keep on re-signing it. But I mean, I guess if they feel confident in what Big Hit's doing, they kind of see their careers progressing in the way that they want to progress, then feel free to re-sign whenever you want to. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and judge it. I quite honestly do not care if companies do or do not re-sign with their artists, because at the end of the day, what does it really matter? Because there'll be another group to overtake them. I'm being really pessimistic today. Can you tell? I'm tired. So we're just going to carry on moving along. Nothing to see here. Yeah. So in early 2019, in exactly March actually, so it will be the 5th year anniversary this year, or this month actually, because it's the 1st of March. Did you know that? I should have mentioned it yesterday, but it was the leap day. But I didn't, because honestly I forgot. So the second male group is called Tomorrow by Together. I did talk about them in this second episode. I think it was on Sunday. I love how I'm sat in my mum's room and I can see all the kids like coming home from school along like the back path that runs along like the back of my house. It's actually kind of funny, because I used to obviously have to walk home from school, but I never like walked far enough to like go around the back of my house, mainly because of the fact that I know for a fact my mum wouldn't let me back in because she doesn't know how to open the gate, and also there is just no point. I just kind of would walk around a little bit further to get around the estate to get back to my house. Completely irrelevant to the point I'm trying to talk about. I don't know what that code means. The CB. Oh, it's a chief business officer. Don't know what that means. But he became a co-CEO with Ban Shi-hyuk, and Yoon would focus on the business parts of the company, and Shi-hyuk would be more of the creative kind of part of the company. In July, it was announced that the company acquired, well, actually in July and August, it was announced that they acquired Source Music and a video game company called HYBE. Okay, don't know what that means. And in May 2020, so during the pandemic, we gotta love her for all of its stuff. We don't actually, I'm just joking. Big Hit became the majority shareholder of Pledis. However, the company would remain independent from Big Hit. However, it would mean that they do get more money kind of put into their projects and support for their global promotions. So that would have been good for GFriend, New East, and it's helpful to 17 and TWS. However, obviously, New East and GFriend have since disbanded since this acquisition. The Fair Trade Commission approved the acquisition in October, and Big Hit was then decided to acquire KOZ. I had actually no idea. I thought it was like a recent acquisition and they just didn't mention it, but it had happened before I got into K-pop, so that probably explains as to why. I also did this research when I was half asleep at about 6 o'clock this morning, so I have no full idea as to what I wrote 9 hours ago when I was in bed, and I was like, I guess today's topic will be about, went down the list of like what I thought I could talk about, and I was like, Big Hit, that sounds like fun. I'll get like information down from different websites and kind of put them all up, and then just sort of kind of be like, oh, this sounds about right. Oh wow, I really did not do a good job with this, did I? Oh my, this is really, really bad. Oh my, this makes no sense. Okay, well, yeah, some people from the West, like the Western like music thing, apparently they joined Weverse, which is like a social media for artists and their fans to kind of interact, which I'm like, I feel like all companies have the same sort of thing, and I'm like, is like Instagram and Twitter not good for those companies? They still have them, but I'm like, is it because it's like not so personal? I don't know, but we're just going to carry on into 2021, in which it was announced that Big Hit was going to rebrand into what is now considered as HYBE Corporation. So Big Hit Entertainment became Big Hit Music. That went under the labels. HYBE was then like created as like a big conglomerate of a lot of different companies, or at least like parts of Big Hit Entertainment. The renaming was approved on the 30th of March. The company fully relocated to a completely new a building that had been built on the 22nd, and the full-on rebrand went into effect on the 31st of March. right at the release of what is the first song that I ever was around for the release of From BTS Film Out. I don't think I made sense when I said that. We gotta love it. So, next part of the story is that HYBE acquired Ithaca Holdings and all of its properties, which it includes quite a lot of Western artists, and another company, and is now considered a part of HYBE America. HYBE America's CEO is a man whose name I'm not going to mention here because I do not stand by anything that man is doing if the accusations I have read are true. And we're just gonna move on to the next part. Oh wow, I don't know what on earth I did. Jeez, you can really tell I wrote this when I was tired. So next was the creation of a new sub-label called Adore, and its CBO, or its Chief Brand Officer, was announced to its Chief Brand Officer was announced to actually now be its CEO, and it was Min Hee-jin. It was announced to be Min Hee-jin, and was basically announced to also be overseeing the management of its first girl group, who was New Jeans. I talked about them yesterday for well over an hour. Also talked about absolute nonsense in the middle of doing that, and to be fair, I felt that was pretty funny. New Jeans debuted in July of 2022. Now, in January actually of 2022, HYBE announced the original stories based off of, or I guess a part of the intellectual property expansion or the IP expansion of both BTS, ENHYPEN and Tomorrow by Together on Wattpad, which is a basically a place where you can put fan fiction. I have an account on Wattpad and AO3 or Archive of our own, as well as Tumblr. Yeah, we're just going to move on from that and not talk about that because that is an awkward part of my past that I don't want to talk about. Otherwise, I might actually cry and cringe, and we're just gonna ignore that. Okay. It was also announced that BTS, or no, actually not BTS, HYBE had made a deal with Disney to produce quite a few documentaries, and a few of them have been based around BTS themselves, or a few of the BTS members. They have also created a documentary for TXT. And a few of the members' solo endeavours. I am now lying flat on my mother's bed. I am that tired from talking about this. Quite honestly, I am interested in doing all of this, don't get me wrong. My attention span is just the size of a spoon, a tiny, teeny little spoon. Yeah. And we get on to the most interesting part of the history, which is in which HYBE becomes the largest shareholder of SM Entertainment in February of 2023 after it acquired behalf of the company's founders, stakes Isuman. I won't get into that because, quite frankly, it is something that I feel like I do not understand. HYBE has 12.6% of shares in the company. However, they do plan to take even more stocks from Suman, and will probably more than likely become the largest shareholder of any one entity and, take over some of the management of SM Entertainment. And my opinion on this is simple. I don't care. Mainly because of the fact that SM Entertainment is too big to fail. It's too big to completely just not still do the music that it does today going into the future. And I know for a fact that HYBE would actually be destroyed if they did not allow SM to continue to be what it is now. So yeah. Oh, pardon me. I am fine. I'm still here. I'm not going to fall asleep just yet, We're good. However, it was announced only a month later after this. Wait. Okay, I found a bit more information. I just quickly searched. So Isuman's stake was 14.8%. And they actually managed to acquire a 1% small stake on the 3rd, so nearly a year ago. However, on the 12th, it announced that it was no longer going to own majority stakes, and that they were going to leave it to Kakao to buy because they thought that it was going to damage shareholder value. So if you buy, like a company buys out too many shares, it probably doesn't look too good to the actual other shareholders, so they're probably going to try and sell their own stock, which is not good at all. And then it was announced that they were going to be selling their stakes to Kakao, but they actually didn't sell everything and kept 8.81%. No, they sold 8.8%, so they still have 12.6% in their stock or stake or whatever the name is. I've forgotten. I've left the station. My brain has left the station. I've only been talking for 30 minutes, but it feels like forever. Anyway, on May the 23rd, HYBE signed a distribution deal with Tencent Music, which is a Chinese streaming platform. I think that basically means that HYBE helps them to basically present their music to the world. To be honest with you, I don't actually understand streaming deals or business deals between any of this sort of stuff, because sometimes they don't ever actually amount to anything, or they amount to something that doesn't seem equal to the amount of press that probably the announcement got. Or when teasers for the next series start on the last series, the last episode of the last series, and then those things never actually happen. I'm like, is that just you basically saying that this may be what we're thinking about doing and then never actually do? Or those plans that Disney announced that they're thinking about, I've forgotten the name of them. They actually have a name. I wonder if that's just them saying this is out of the ballpark for us here at the moment, but we're gonna say that like this is what we're aiming for if we walk really quickly. But yeah, in November. Oh wait, no, I'm missing a part of it. I do actually remember this happening because it happened near my birthday, but on the 10th of August, I think, HYBE announced that they managed to buy the rest of BLIF Lab from CJE&M. So now CJE&M and HYBE and Hyphen and Elite or whatever that group's called is now fully under HYBE. And in November sometime they acquired their first Latin America subsidiary. It's in, yeah, it's under that. Last part of my notes says that yeah, there is like it's HYBE Corporation, and then it's like HYBE HQ, and then it's HYBE Labels, HYBE Solutions, and HYBE Platforms. HYBE Labels includes the following sublabels: Big Hit Music, BLIF Lab, Source Music, Adore, Pledis Entertainment, and KOZ. The artists under that include from Big Hit Music include BTS, Tomorrow by Together, and Lee Hyun. BLIF Lab includes Hyphen and Illit. Source Music includes Le Seraphim. Adore includes New Jeans, and Pledis Entertainment includes 17, Baekhyun, Minhyun, Byungsu, Nana, Hana, Sungyeon, Promise Line, and TWS. KOZ includes Zico and Boy Next Door. Solutions includes mainly about putting together video content, and education. And platforms is basically just Weverse company. And then they also have HYBE America, which is where Fatica Holdings is with QC Media Holdings. Fatica Holdings has Atlas Music Publishing, Big Hit Label Group, BMLG Records, Big Machine Records, The Valerie Music Co., Mythos Studios, Race in Space, SB Projects, SB Consulting, SB Management, SB Ventures, Schoolboy Entertainment, Schoolboy Records, HYBE Publishing, Silent Labs, under QC Media Holdings is Quality Control Music, Solid Foundation Management, Quality Films, and QC Sports. And the last subsidiary is HYBE Japan. HYBE Japan was known as Big Hit Japan, or yeah, I think that's right. And they have a completely different CEO, and it's like an independent entity from HYBE, but obviously is still associated with that, and basically assists other HYBE groups into entering Japan. So when Le Seraphim was planning to debut as with Japanese releases, HYBE Japan would have helped them. However, they do have their own artists, including Team, and in the future they're going to have 24 Kumi, which is a different group who are probably going to debut soon. I hope so, because they have a few members of the survival group that created Team. They also have a collaboration with another company who created a girl group called Moonchild, who debuted in 2023, and I you know, that's pretty much where we are up to today with HYBE. I'm sorry that the episode wasn't more interesting. To be honest, I don't think I'll probably do another episode just on a company if it's not in conjunction with another group, because that was, honest to God, the most boring thing I think I've ever read in my entire life. And normally I find that sort of stuff kind of interesting. However, obviously, you never know until you try. As for what I think about HYBE buying more of SM, honestly, business is business, and these sorts of things actually happen behind the scenes more than you probably think. And, you know, a lot of other groups and a lot of other companies have succeeded with HYBE's help, and, you know, I really do think that if HYBE could help SM, that I really do think that that should be something that is welcomed in a company like SM at this point. And, you know, no company is going to be perfect, but HYBE just might make it a little bit better. And, you know, we might get some answers for when Sunghan from Rise is going to come back. And we might, you know, see the addition of more member-focused subunits within NCT. We might get more frequent comebacks, more high-quality comebacks. More groups might be added. You know, we might get more songs between other groups. Things will improve. Obviously, it can't get any worse, I don't think. And, you know, we do just kind of have to trust the process. These people do know what they're doing, even if it doesn't seem like it. And we do just have to trust that them big mans up there in Seoul do know what they're doing, and that things will work out even if it doesn't seem like it in this current moment. So I think that just about wraps up today's episode. I really do hope you did enjoy it. This was all about HYBE's creation and their development into the company in which we now know today. Tomorrow's episode, I think I am just going to finally do the New East episode. I've been kind of putting it off for some reason. I don't know why, actually, because they're a perfectly normal group. I just didn't want to do them for some reason. But with all that being said, I really do hope that you have a nice rest of your day, whatever you're doing, and I will see you again very, very soon. Bye!